So, mayong buntag no, ma'am, classmates. So, ako ang other reporter ninyo for today. So, naaman mo'y nakita, diba, duha ka classroom. Sa nakita ninyo, na classroom 1 o classroom 2. I-observe ninyo ang ilaang differences. So, well, na ako i-ask ninyo ng mga questions. Find out how the physical arrangement affects traffic flow, distractions, and student-student interaction. So, ang first question nako is, are the chairs arranged in such a way that teacher-student interaction is facilitated? So, yes, sa classroom 1 is kuan siya na arrange siya ang mga chairs. While ang sa classroom 2 is dili kaayo kay makita ninyo na murag gagubot gamay ang mga chairs. So, number 2 is, can every student view and read what is written on the board? So, imagine sa classroom 1 kanang naay nakasulat dira sa blackboard. Makita ra sa mga student, di ba? Yes, makita ra. Well, sa classroom 2 is dili makita sa mga student kay ang bangko is dili naka-face forward sa blackboard. So, means dili makakita ang mga student kung unsa ang nakasulat sa board diretso. So, 3 is, can the teacher see all students while presenting? Well, sa classroom 1 is yes, makita sa mga teacher. Pero sa classroom 2 is dili. Diba? So, naay mga differences. So, ang ikaupat na question is, are the chairs arranged in such a way that students can easily move without unnecessary disruption? So, yes, sa classroom 1, arrange siya in a way nga makamove ang mga student. So, makita ninyo, diba, dagko ang mga spacing. Well, sa classroom 2 is dili jud okay murag gaguot ang mga chairs, so dili makamove ang mga student. So 5 is there a picture or any other fixtures that distract student attention for learning? So sa classroom 1 is wala kayo yung mga picture, di ba? O di ba makita ninyo, so dili kayo ma-distract ang mga student. Well, sa classroom 2 is naay mga kuan naay mga unnecessary na mga nakabot lang sa bitaw kilid, so ma-distract ang mga student. So 6 is the classroom safe, clean, and orderly? So makita man nato sa classroom 1, di ba nga limpyo siya. Well, sa classroom 2 is dili lahi ra jud sa classroom 1 nga safe bitaw kayo o clean ang classroom niya. Ang classroom 2 kay dili. So 7 is the classroom well ventilated? So sa classroom 1 is yes, kung ano kay kanang dili guot, kanang dali ra makaginhawa ang mga student. But sa classroom 2 is dili, namitang murag guot siya nga igang ang classroom. So 8th question is, does the classroom have adequate lighting? Yes, sa classroom 1 is sakto kayo ang kahayag, no? Ganahan, kung siguro ako ang estudyante dira is ganahan ko. Well, ang classroom 2 is murag medyo ngit-ngit siya. Kaya mitang murag wala kayo lightning nga na isang ambience bitaw. So, lahi ra sila. So, 9 is the classroom wide enough to allow student movement and activities? Well, yes, of course, sa classroom 1 is dako kayo ang spacing. Diba? O, makita ninyo. Walang classroom 2 is, kuan siya ka na, yes, dako siya, but dili kayo magaguot kayo siya kay dili kayo maka-move ang mga student. Nga, dili ka bot ang mga activities. So, the 10th question is, does every student have a chair or desk? Yes, of course, makita ninyo. Parehas ra ang classroom 1 o classroom 2 na ay mga chair o desk. So, 11 is, if there is a noise, is it academic noise that indicates students' engagement in learning? Well, dili kay nato ni siya matubag, no? Kay picture raman. So, maybe in your mind, isang sana lang na. So, 12 question is, the classroom attractive to enhance learning? Well, yes, of course. Pamili daw mo dira ko asa ang kuan mas attractive. For me is ang classroom 1 jud, di ba? Yes, kung ako bitaw may pabuton, of course, sa classroom 1 gyud kay murag nindot gid kaayo siya, attractive siya compared sa classroom 2 nga murag dili man gud siya limpyo. So for us dapat ang kuan ang nice gyud na kuan nato sa to classroom is ang classroom 1. So maybe pohon no if every teacher na ta is kana unta ang atong classroom. So di ba based sa akong mga questions is mahalata jud ang ilang differences no. So bawat classroom, so I think na namoy idea sa akong topic. So ang topic na to karon is the physical learning environment. And I know hopefully makasabot ra mo sa akong topic ug ma-deliver na ako og tarong. So my learning objectives of this topic is first, design a favorable physical learning environment. And the next is discuss the awareness about the importance of physical learning environment. And the third one is identify the different classroom arrangement. Next slide is so unsa man jud ay ning physical learning environment. So let's find out no. So a learning environment is a combination of social and physical qualities that create the classroom experience. So ang pasabot di ay kay ang both aspects sa social and physical is nag-shape siya sa atong learning environment. When it comes sa social is di ba makikommunicate majud ka sa mga students. Also, ang mga students mo collaborate sad sa iyang kapwa students. Labaw na when it comes sa activities, di ba? And not just that, but also sa atong physical aspects sa classroom. When it comes sa atong furnitures, the lighting, and any kind of resources. So, kani maka-influence o maka-affect sa students sa ilang pag-learn o pakipag-interact socially between each other. So next is it includes classroom management procedures as well as the way the space is organized, furnished, and maintained. So ang classroom management kay nag-involve og maintaining order means is ang teacher naa siya responsibility og territory sa usa ka classroom. Siya may magdisiplin sa mga students labaw na naay mga badlungon. So pag badlungon biya ang bata kay need jud i-take actions. But remember dili nato sila pagbuhatan og kamay. So, istoryahon lang nato sila heart to heart. And if dili madala, then we can talk to their parents naman. And also, sa procedures sa atong room, naaman jud na mga guidelines o routines na in the first place pa lang sa klase is iingon na nato sa atong mga students. Para aware sila sa kung unsa ilang buhaton, sama ragun na sa mga activities na ihatag nato sa ila, diba? So, naaman joy instructions and need jud basahon firstly, para makabalo na unsay angay buhaton ug dili sad buhaton. So sa atong classroom sad, we have to be organized. Labaw na sa setup sa atong mga chairs, tables, and sa mga books, dapat naka-well maintained. Dili bisag asa nato ibutang, dapat one place lang na para dili na maglibog ang mga students. So kabalo na sila diretso aha na makita. Kay in kaso wala ka sa classroom, is pwede na sila muy mukuha mismo. But only sa kanang pwede ra nila hilabtan na mga gamit. So next is, it consists of the classroom and all the instructional features and non-threatening classroom climate needed in planning and implementing all teaching and learning activities. So of course, sa usa ka classroom is dapat naa na tanan kailanganon sa students such as the blackboard. So amkuan kanang chalk, of course, table, chairs, books, extra pens or pencils. So if ever na ay mga student na wala sila, then they can borrow sa imo as the teacher the layout of the classroom and dapat dako ang spacing, mga essential things jud for school purposes. So igi-emphasize sad na ang classroom is dapat non-threatening. Your students should feel na safe sila, respected, and well secured. So once they enter the classroom, kanang dili sila maka-feel og judgment, and to encourage them na dili dapat sila mahadlok na maka-learn og makahalubilo sa mga parehas niya student. So next slide is, so the physical learning environment has something to do with the condition of the classroom and the immediate environment of the learning, which first allows maximum interaction between teacher and student and also among students. So dili jud malikayan guys na pag ikaw mahimo teacher is ma-interact jud dapat nimo og maayo imo mga students. Na dapat every time mag-ask ka sa ila og mga questions ug makig-engage jud ka sa ila. Pero dapat comfortable imong mga students aron naa jud ma-learn imong mga students sa imo. So dapat sad naa kay ihatag sila ang mga activities o group works so that imong mga students is makig-communicate og mo-cooperate with each other para naa sila social interactions. So importante jud kaayo ng social communication sa usa ka classroom. So next is well-ventilated, spacious, and adequately lighted, acoustically sound, good, or circulations. So gipasabot no na dapat well-ventilated ang usa ka classroom na nagahatag jud og preskong hangin sa mga students na makaginhawa bitaw sila og tarong na dili bitaw sila igangan kay what if na kay estudyante na asmahon. Parehas na ako, asmahon ra pa ko. So maong dapat jud need ang mga students og kanang sakto ra bitaw ang hangin para makafocus ang mga students sa ilang pag-learn ug dapat spacious ang classroom na comfortable ang mga student na makalingkod ug makalihok sila bisag asa sa classroom. Labaw na maki-interact sila sa students ug kita ng mga teachers. Of course, dapat ang lighting nato kay natural lang, kanang dili kayo sakit sa mata tan-awon ang color sa atong room. So bitaw kana sang dili sad ngit-ngit atong room. Labaw na naay mga students na blurry ang visions. So og atong room dapat acoustically sound, kanang sakto lang madunggan ang tingog nato sa mga students ba aron klaro sad og ma-deliver nato og maayo atong message sa ilaa para dali ra sila makasabot. And also proper circulation allows for easy movement within the classroom. So next is safe, clean, and orderly. So as I mentioned earlier, diba, dapat atong classroom should be safe place sa atong mga students. Kay daghan na bata og estudyante sa usa ka classroom. Dili ra pulo ka buok, so we should make them feel safe. So dapat limpyo jud ang atong classroom always. Dapat makapromote og good health sa mga students. So dapat ilabay ang mga basura sa saktong labayanan, manilhig ug manghinlo sa mga windows. So pwede ra pud suguon nimo mga student para dili ra bitaw sila, kanang dapat active sila. So lagi sa paglimpyo sad na adyo nang i-organize ang mga gamit. So next is with adequate temperature and other environmental factors. So in the classroom, ang temperature dapat is dili kayo init, dili pud kayo tugnaw. So mga sakto lang gud na dili ma-distract ang mga students pag magtuon or maminaw sila sa atua. So nindot jud nang naay aircon. So suggest lang na aircon, no. Pero dili man needed. So na-mention naman nako ng mga environmental factors ganiya such as lighting, air quality, classroom layout, noise levels. So next slide is classroom climate. So refers to the prevailing mood, attitudes, standards, and tone that the teacher and the students feel when they are in the classroom. So sa usa ka classroom, ma-prevail man jud ng mga moods and attitudes nato, no? So usahay dili nato malikayan na mahatag nato sa atong mga students. So dapat when mabadbon ka is diba, when mabadbod ka is dili kayo nimo ma-deliver og tarong ang imong message sa laa. So instead kinasuko ka sa laa, imong tone nimo kay kanang naanay kalagot na pinabundak or kanang dili na nimo sila matudluan ana na time. So imo na nuon sila gikasukan the whole time nimo ana nga day. So tas ang mga students kay of course makafeel pud og kasuko sa teacher, but dapat likayan nato na as a teacher soon. So dapat ang classroom is positive vibes lang, kanang relax lang bitaw. Kay if happy go lucky ka na teacher og okay kayo imong interaction sa imong mga students, then ang mga students is maka-feel the same way sa teacher. So, a positive classroom atmosphere maka-foster og engagement, collaboration, and learning. Kaya if negative one imo i-choose, then it can lead to conflict and misunderstanding. So, next is A positive classroom climate feels safe, respectful, welcoming, and supportive of student learning. So, ang climate dapat sa usa ka classroom is ang mga estudyante maka-feel bitaw na safe sila kanang ang mga students is dili mahadlok sa bullying, judgment, o maalaw bitaw nila ilang self na ma-express, especially sa mga members of LGBTQ. Sa mga cultures or religions kanang ma-feel dapat sa mga every students na angay sila irespeto, masuportahan ug ma-feel welcome sa usa ka classroom. So next is a product of interactions between and among teacher and students and the physical conditions of the classroom. So na-mention na jud ko ni ganiha na ang classroom is mag-interact jud ang teacher ug ang mga students. Labaw na nga need og social communication para maka-learn ang mga students. Also, ang condition sa classroom is naa na ang needs sa students sa school purposes only. So next slide is the two things that influence the classroom climate. A is physical environment and B is psychological climate. So physical environment is nag-consist og upat, which is ang physical classroom condition. So ang physical condition sa usa ka classroom is makaapekto jud sa student moral and learning, kay if dili bitaw okay ang lighting kanang ngit-ngit jud ang room, way kahayag-hayag tas kanang igang kaayo ang room, tas labaw na og hugaw kanang makita nimo ang mga sagbot sa kilid, kay makasira jud kaayo siya og mood between sa teacher ug students. So dili maka-deliver ang teacher og clarify na statement sa topic. Diyon dili maminaw ang mga students kay na-focus sa hugaw kayo na surroundings. And mas worse is magsakit pamutanan naa sa usa ka place, so makaapekto jud kayo siya if dili ni masulbaran dahil na issue sa classroom. So next is temperature and lighting. So of course, our temperature sa classroom makaapekto sa tua, including the students, kay naay mga estudyante na mas prefer og tugnaw ang temperature, while naa po'y mga students na dili maka-focus, dali ra ma-distract pag maka-feel og katugnaw, and vice versa. So diba mura ra sad sa lighting sa room, naa po'y mga students na mas comfortable sa bright lights, but naa po'y mga students na dili ganahan og hayag kayo kay magsakit ang ilang mata. So mao nay makaapekto jud sa learning sa mga student. So lahi-lahi man jud ang mga students sa tupuhon, if dili ni masulbad, then mag-adjust jud always ang mga students. So next is furniture arrangement. So yes, of course, ang arrangement sa atong classroom kay nagplay og crucial role when influencing student. So learning motivation, participations, and the relationships between the teacher and students, o sa mga student interactions. So dapat dili kayo sa gabal ang mga furniture na naa sa atong classroom, kanang dili ma-distract ang mga students makakita. So dapat ang naara jud sa classroom is kanang desk, chairs, shelves for books, and black whiteboards na dapat pang-eskwelahan ra jud. So next is seating arrangement. So makatabang ang seating arrangement sa mga students to participate o maki-interact sa teacher o kapwa students. So ang setting layout kay maka-impact na siya sa students. Usaon sa students maka-focus og tarong tas ma-observe clearly ang information. So later ato na siya mahibalan nganong maka-apekto jud ang seating arrangement sa usa ka estudyante sa classroom. So proceed na to sa next slide. So yes, the psychological climate consists of 3 dibas. So first is safety. So students maka-feel na sila safe both physically and mentally when they enter the classroom every day. So next is teaching and learning. So yes, teacher man tabangan nato atong mga learners na ma-work nila or ma-achieve ila ang goals in life. And to do that is maghatag ta, mag-incorporate ta nila og new knowledge, behaviors, and skills nga ma-add nila sa ilang range of learning experiences. So makuha ra ni nila gikan sa tuwa as teachers. So grabe jud kayo ang responsibility sa mga teacher towards sa students. So last is relationships. So the both teacher and student should have positive connections between each other. Not just that, but also sa mga adults and peers na naa sa school setting. And when foster positive social interaction, it can establish a nurturing environment with trust and support to one another. So proceed sa next slide. So yes, a conductive physical learning environment. So A is physical condition of classroom. So B is conveniently arranged furniture. C is flexible seating arrangement which consists of two, which is formal seating pattern, informal seating pattern, and lastly, D, classroom proceedings. So A, physical condition of classroom. So, as soon as the students enter, they are attracted by a clean and orderly setup. Natural light and flowing fresh air add to their comfort and ease. Free from noise coming from the surroundings, students' concentration and interest are easily sustained. The doors and windows could be opened and closed with less difficulty and noise. So, the light fixtures are located where needed. So, of course, ang condition sa atong classroom is attractive jud. At isa sa maka-attractive ana kay ang kalimpyuhon o ka-well-maintained na classroom. Kanang-ganahan kayo ta sa hangin o natural ang light ambience sa atong room. Na maka-feel ta og comfort og ease once mosulod ta na room na mura bitaw ta og nasa balay kay komportable ta mo puyo. Also, kana madunggan ra ang bawat noise sa students. Estudyante, labaw na sa teacher. If magtudlo, madunggan na to ang iyang ginahatag na learning sa atua so that makakonsentrate ta o mapuka bitang interest sa bawat students. Kaya naabya si uban na madistract sa surroundings. So, dapat okay jud kayo ang classroom. Also, as I mentioned is, ang doors and windows is pwede na to i-open para dili pud kayo alimuot ang classroom or igang. So, and if saba man gali if ever sa gawas, dili man na malikayan kay naaman say magbahis-bahis ng mga students sa gawas. So, or na ay mga laing classroom, then you can also close the door if necessary lang jud. So, next slide is B, conveniently arranged furniture. So, furniture are positioned properly. So, dapat ang furniture nato no kay naka-position properly sa usa ra jud ka place sa classroom. Like, ang shelves dapat naka-position siya sa kilid, sa mga chairs ug desk sa students so that dali ra makuha sa mga students kung unsa na book ila ang gusto kwaon. Pwede pud butanganan sa ilang mga projects and also ang sa teacher is atubangan sa mga students para sa makita niya whole ang classroom ug ang mga students tas ang blackboard sa dapat facing jud atubangan sa mga students. In kaso magsulat-sulat ang maestra diretso na dayon makita nila. Also, dapat naay bulletin boards for announcement purposes. So, diba sa kilid sa blackboard. So, dapat nakaposition na jud in one place. Dili na need i-isbog if okay na jud di ara. So, next is allow students to move without distractions. Yes, ang students dapat makamove sila freely sa classroom, na dili sila makafeel og kaguot, na dili sila ma-distract pagting klase, na dapat na enough spaces ang bawat bangko og limited ra dapat ang mga gamit sa room. Og naara sa kilid ang mga gamit, dili jud ingon na daghan gamit, so much better kana rang mga school purposes lang na kagamitan. So dili guutan ang mga students sa classroom. So next is clear view of presentations on the board. So, dapat clear ang view sa presentations nato sa board para ang mga students is makasabot dayon sila sa imong gi-present and dapat makita nila dayon diretso. So, dapat ang font size is enough sa student na babasahan. Also, ang picture size is clearly visible jud. So, this is important to have a effective visual communication during presentations. So next is provide enough space for the students to sit conveniently without hesitations. So na-mention naman jud ko nino na dapat sa usa ka classroom is naa jud enough space for everyone. Kay syempre na may lahi-lahi na privacy atong mga students. So naay gusto mag-focus og tuon, naa say gusto matulog. Para sad ang mga students kay makasit sila comfortable sa ilang mga bangko o convenient sa ilaan labaw na mag-study lagi og mamina og tarong sa teachers. So next slide is C, flexible setting arrangement. So first ay masahon nako ang allows interactions between teacher and students and among students. Allow students to discuss and share their ideas with the teachers. So kaning flexible setting arrangement nato is makapromote sa students o teacher na mag-interact to each other. Labaw na sa mga students na interaction. So kanin di ay sitting arrangement nato sa klase maka-encourage sa mga students na mo-collaborate o ma-interact ang usat-usa kana maka-allow na mag-work in groups, maka-sit together og dali ra makahatag og mga ideas sa each other. So kanina set up kay maka-create og approachable atmosphere making students more likely to ask questions and share thoughts. So naa siya duha ka setting pattern, which is the formal setting pattern and informal setting pattern. So the formal setting pattern consists of traditional setting pattern, and informal setting pattern consists of horseshoe arrangement, rectangular arrangement, open classroom, and circular arrangement. So next is formal seating pattern. So yes, it consists of traditional seating pattern. So chairs are formed of rows and columns directly facing the teacher. So reduce the student-student interaction, which gives teacher control and conduct conducive environment class discussions. So ang mga desk o chairs kay dapat naka-form into straight line. Kaya naka-by row jud ang columns as you can see sa picture. So ang mga student is naka-face sa tubangan sa maestra ang mga students. So kanina setup is fixed na dili na ni siya ma-change ang position. So if gusto ang teacher na traditional sitting setup, so mas convenient ni siya para ang mga students maka-focus jud og tarong sa teacher. But kanilang is lesser lang jud ang interactions between the students. So ang teacher man ang mag-control. So this setup minimize distractions, promote discipline, and facilitates efficient teacher monitoring. So next is informal sitting. Next is informal sitting pattern. So enhance students' social skill, develops cooperative learning, helps one another by sharing materials and group discussions and poem presentations. So kaniti ay informal sitting pattern is maka-enhance sa students na social skill. So pwede kaayo siya makahalubilo ang iyang kapwa students kay usara man sila og desk. So naay mga face-to-face jud nimo, pwede ka maka-share og material sa ilaa og pwede sad ka mangulam. Tas pwede sad nimo sila maka-istorya og dali about group discussions and presentations. So kanina part kay maka-develop jud sa cooperative learning sa usa ka estudyante, but kanina set up kay medyo gubot lang light kay pwede ma-distract light ang students. So next is informal seating pattern, which is the horseshoe arrangement. So chairs are in a U shape wherein the students are facing the teacher, while the arrangements are allowed to see and clearly understand the lessons presented. So this refers to a classroom setting arrangement where chairs are set in a U-shaped pattern. Makita niyo, U-shaped pattern siya. So kanina setup is mag-allow sa mga students to face the teacher. So who typically stands or sits at the open end of the U. So it promotes visibility and interactions between students and the teachers. So this highlights the benefit of the U-shaped arrangement. So students have an unobstructed view of the teacher, the board, or any materials being presented. So improving their ability to follow along with the lessons. So next is informal seating pattern, which is the rectangular arrangement. So, rows of students separated by tables but facing each other. So, can call the attention of the students who are easily distracted. So, mga students, di ay kamulingkod in rows or groups around the table na na-allow sa mga students na mag-atubangay ang mga estudyante face-to-face. So, makita nila diretso ang each other. So, kanina setup kay nag-promote og interactions o collaborations between sa mga students. So, kanisa na arrangement kay ga-allow sa mga teacher na makita nila diretso ang mga students na dali ma-distract. Kay kanina layout is open and organized ug ang teacher kay mag-move easily around the classroom ug maka-engage sa mga students. Next slide is open classroom. So desks are arranged in groups or cluster and can be moved. So there are space for shelves, tables, and work areas. So allow small groups and individualized instruction. So increase students' interactions and give them to move around and engage in different learning activities in different settings. So ang mga desk ani na setup kay dili siya fixed in rows. Kumbaga kanang pwede siya ma-arrange bisag asa pwede ra ma-arrange ang mga desk o chairs sa mga students. So, kanina flexible environment kay nag-allow na ang mga students kay naay group work or activities. So, kanina setup kay dili jud mawala ang mga shelves, tables, or work areas basta open ang classroom kay para naay ikabuta ang mga students sa ilang projects, nagibuhat or materials na pwede nila gamiton ani na setup. Since kani kay more on activities man na setup, diba? So, ang mga teachers kay maka-provide og personalized attention sa mga students na naay mga small groups para makater ug makabalo siya sa mga different learning styles sa mga students pinaagi ani na setup. So kanina open layout kay nag-encourage sa mga students na maka-move freely sila, maka-interact with their other peers, and also maka-engage sa mga hands-on activities. Kay kanina setting is essential for collaboration and creativity with various learning opportunities. So next is circular arrangement. So chairs are formed into a big circle and students are facing each other. So enable the students to communicate with their classmates and gives emphasis to the teacher. So maintains the interaction of the teacher and the students. So ang mga chairs kina-form siya into a big circle. Allows the students na mag-face with each other. So, kanina arrangement kay nag-promote sa mga students na engage o maka-communicate with their other classmates, maka-discuss sa topic that allows them to have comfortable environment since okay man diba na ma-collaborate ang mga bawat estudyante sa classroom. So, this arrangement can help na ma-maintain ang interaction between the teacher and her student. Not just that, but also sa mga estudyante towards sa usa't usa. So, next slide is classroom proceedings. So, classroom proceedings also accommodates different types of learners. For instance, students who are visual learners can excel in a classroom setting where theatrical presentations, storytelling, or movies contributes to lessons. Hands-on learners may also do well in a classroom. So, ang classroom proceedings can involve between the teacher and the students na include diri ang interactive discussions and activities kung mas ma-enhance nila ang ilang understandings. So, for example, ang teacher kay maghatag og lesson about sa ilang topic and magkuan og strategy unsaon pagsabot sa mga students ang lesson, diba? So that ang mga student pod kay mohatag sa opinion about sa ilang topic kay nakabasabot man sila. So next slide is two major components of the learning environment. So first is physical components. So include all physical aspects such as classrooms, teaching materials, learning facilities, extend environment both inside and outside the classroom. So in a physical learning environment, the physical components encompasses all tangible elements that contribute to the teaching and learning materials. So nag-include ani is classrooms, teaching materials, learning facilities, and extended environment both inside and outside the classroom. So classrooms serve as the primary spaces for learning. So which are mga factors is layout, ventilation, lighting, and setting arrangement. So play a vital role in creating a conducive atmosphere. So teaching materials such as textbooks, workbooks, whiteboards, and digital tools are essential for facilitating effective instructions, while mga learning facilities like libraries, computers, labs, and sports ground provide opportunities for hands-on and extracurricular learning. So, the extended environment inside the classroom, such as displays, bulletin boards, and posters, adds a stimulating dimension to the learning space, while outdoor spaces like gardens, playgrounds, and field trip locations support experiential and real-world learning. So, these physical components create a well-rounded environment that enhance engagement, accommodates diverse learning needs, and foster a positive educational experience. So, other one is the psychosocial component, related to the interaction that occurs between students with teachers, and students with the environment. So, the psychosocial component in a physical learning environment is nag-refer ani is the social and emotional interactions na nag-shape sa mga students' learning experience. So, it encompasses the relationships between the students. So, between students and teachers, and between students and their environment. So, ang student-student interactions is, nag-involve siya collaboration, teamwork, and peer support, fostering a sense of community and mutual respect. So, these interactions also provide opportunities for students na makadevelop og social skills such as communication and conflict resolutions. So, other one is student-to-teacher interactions are equally important. So, as teachers provide guidance, feedback, and emotional support. So, nagabuild og trust and modeling behaviors like empathy and respect. So, teachers create a safe space where students feel valued and confident to engage in learning. So, the environment itself also plays a significant role as the design and layout of the classroom, access to resources, and the overall school culture influence. So, how students interact and feel within the space. So, a supportive psychosocial environment encourage active participations, promotes social and emotional growth, and reduces stress, creating a holistic and engaging atmosphere conducive to learning. So, next slide is a physical learning aims to 1. First is encourage students to be active. So, ang importante jud no na ma-aim sa physical learning is that ang mga students kay ma-encourage sila to be active sa klase. Like parehas na makaparticipate, maganado bitaw sila mo eskwela kay syempre nindot man ang surroundings. So, secondly is promotes and facilitates the individual's discovery of the person's meaning of ideas. So, a physical learning environment is makatabang sa students to engage actively sa ilang mga ideas, encouraging them to connect concept based sa ilang mga personal experience and find personal relevance. So, this makes learning more meaningful, memorable, and applicable to their lives. So, third one is emphasizes the uniquely personal and subjective nature of learning, in which differences is good and desirable. So, kanina statement is nag-highlight sa ideya nga ang physical learning environment is give-value ang individual differences and personal experiences as essential to the learning process. So, gina-acknowledge na every student kinaay mga laylahi na unique perspectives, learning styles, and strengths, which is dili lang accepted but celebrated as part of the diverse learning community. The fourth one is consistency recognizes people's right to make mistakes. So, a physical learning environment is aim siya consistently recognize people's right. So, ang pasabot di ay kay sa usa ka effective learning space, mistakes are seen as a natural and importante nga part sa students' learning process. So, it emphasizes that every individual's, particularly student, should feel comfortable making errors without fear of judgment or punishment. But dili ibig sabihin is gina-consider ang mali. But as teacher, we have to put in our mind na dapat sabto nato ang mali sa student nato. So, the fifth one is tolerate ambiguity. So, refers to mag-create og space kung asa ang mga students kay ma-encourage to embrace uncertainty and complexity in their learning process. So, in such an environment, students are not expected to have all the answers immediately, but tatagan na to sila og freedom to explore, question, and think critically. Tolerating ambiguity, pasabot yung mag-allow sa students to work through unclear or difficult concepts, encouraging problem-solving, creativity, and independent thinking. The sixth one is evaluation, is a cooperative process which emphasizes on self-evaluation. So, ang physical learning focuses on evaluation as a collaborative process na nag-emphasize sa atong self-evaluation. So, kanina approach is both teachers and learners is mag-work together to assess progress, skills, or outcomes. So, ang process ani is nag-encourage ang mga students so na mag-reflect on their own performance and growth, fostering self-awareness and accountability. So, by engaging in self-evaluation, learners become more independent and take an active role in their learning journey rather than relying solely on external assessments. So, the seventh one is encourages openness of self rather than concealment of self. So, kanina statements is nagapasabot na ang physical learning environment is mag-encourage sa mga individuals to be open and authentic rather than kanang itago nila ilang mga true selves. So, in face-to-face settings, students can express their thoughts, feelings, and ideas more naturally through verbal communication, body language, and gestures. So, kanina mga interactions is makabuild og trust, strengthens the relationships, and creates a supportive atmosphere where students feel safe to share their opinions, kana mag-ask questions, and take risks without fear of judgment. So, the eighth one is people are encouraged to trust in themselves as well as an external sources. So, physical learning encourage sa mga individuals na ma-develop ilang mga trust, ilang kagalingon, and the external sources. So, by engaging in hands-on activities and practical experiences, is ang mga tao is makabuild silang confidence in their own kanang mga abilities, skills, and intuition. So, successfully completing tasks or solving problems allows learners to believe in their capacity to achieve and grow. So, the next one is people feel they are respected and accepted. So, ang physical learning environment is nag-aim na maka-create og space where individuals are feel is respected and accepted. So, kani is nagapasabot ng mga learners are treated with dignity. Their opinions and contributions are valued, and they are welcome without judgment or discriminations. So, pag ang mga tao is maka-feel og respected sila og accepted is maka-foster og sense of belonging, builds confidence, and encourage active participations. So, a positive and inclusive atmosphere in a physical learning space helps learners engage more effectively. So, the last one is permits confrontation. So, kanina's statement is nag-suggest na ang learning in a physical environment is mag-encourage sa direct interactions and engagements among students and teachers. So, kanina context na confrontation is dili siya nag-refer sa conflict, but rather to the opportunity for students to challenge ideas, discuss differing viewpoints, and engage in constructive debates. So, physical learning spaces allow for face-to-face exchanges that help students critically analyze concepts, control real-world problems, and collaborate on practical tasks. So, next is, so how does the physical learning environment impact students' engagement, focus, and overall academic performance? So, matubag na nato na no. Ngano ka ang physical learning is ma-impact sa mga students' engagement, focus, and overall academic performance. So, nabinsya naman ako na ganihan no, na maka-impact yun siya. Kung gubot ang classroom o kuan ka ng dili siya limpyo, ingana ka ng daghang mga sagbot, gubot kaayo ang classroom, dili siya arranged properly, then maka-impact siya sa students kay dili man ganahan mag-engage ang student o dili ka focus. O ang ilang performance sa academic is going down gyud siya. So dapat gyud as a teacher soon is kabalo dapat ta kung unsaon na tong paglimpyo ug pag-manage sa to ang classroom. So firstly and foremost is the classroom gyud kay kuan gyud kanang maka-apekto gyud siya sa tanan, not also the student but also sa mga teachers o sa mga mosulud-an na classroom. So that's it. Thank you kayo sa pagkuano sa pag kanang paminaw sa ako sa akong klase. So thank you and have a good day.